YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Hunter here. Welcome back to another banger of a segment of video. You guys already make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We back with another 2-in-1 banger deal. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so today's topic, today's meat and potato topic is why working in hospitality as an introverted person is beneficial. Yes, guys, I think it's pretty damn beneficial in my opinion if you're an introverted person. Okay, I work in the hospitality industry. I work at a restaurant. Okay, that's all I'm going to leave it at. But this is a video talking about the benefits. Especially when you work in it, you always talk about the cons and negatives about the people and about the environment, about sometimes certain things out at the job that is not in your control. But we're going to talk about the positive attributes this time. Okay, we want to shine a little bit of positivity to this. So if you're an introverted person that is working in here or just a restaurant worker in general, I'm pretty sure these beneficial points you guys can agree to. If not, maybe you guys can give a little further explanation. If you guys have already, if any hospitality worker comes across this, shout out to y'all. You guys already know the deal. Um, or to anybody that's looking to work into hospitality, here is the reaping benefits that I personally experience, and I'm an introverted person too. Okay, key point number one is it forces you to be social. Yes, it does actually. When you start off in the job, you're really quiet. You don't really know anybody. It's your first couple of weeks, but over time, if you stay there for a certain amount of time, you'll start to learn a lot of things. And one of them is to talk, because you don't want to go somewhere and at your job, hospitality wise, and just be that guy that's always quiet and lonely and don't want to mess with nobody. Like, nah, like you're gonna force yourself to talk. You're gonna want to talk, and then it's gonna help, right? And that also alludes to another key point, which is your social skills. Yes, guys, a 2-1 banger, 2-pointer, okay, with the benefits. Yes. Social skills is really big. Growing up all my life, I was also always a socially awkward person. I had a hard time conversating with people, hard time conversating with girls. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a hard time with doing all that stuff because I just didn't know how to talk. But the more I got exposed to, working in this industry, hospitality, like I said, it forces you to be social. The better your social skills will get over time. And what even helps even more is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And bro, when you apply those some of the, a lot of people say it's like outdated, but personally to me, when I read it, it actually made me look at socializing or how to get people to like you and interact with you. Is with the key principles, and one of them was to be the whole point is just to be genuinely interested in what the other person is talking about, what their mindset is, what their point of view is, and you want to view it from an outside perspective. Like, that's what helps, especially when you're always surrounded by people in hospitality. That's the tourists, the customers, and then your coworkers, right? So those are one of the two biggest benefits is social skills and forcing you to talk. Okay, let's go to point number 3, which is you are going to see as you work within this industry what you're going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate, because there's going to be many points and instances where you might get into it with somebody, or something might happen, and it's going to show you and force you to learn how to handle it correctly. This could apply to real life too when you comes to interacting with people or interacting with shady people. It learns, you know what I mean? Because in our biology as humans, we have fight or flight mode, right? But with this, it teaches you how to have patience and how to not outburst. You know what I mean? I've always been a patient person. I know how to reserve calmness, but sometimes, your emotions get to you. We're all human at the end of the day. But that is one of the benefits. It will show you what you're going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate. You know what I mean? In general, in life, okay? The people you come across outside of work, or like anything of that sort, or the customers you come across that might try to do you dirty or do you wrong. You know what I mean? It's going to teach you a lot. Like this guys, I'm telling you, the hospitality low-key applies to real life. Okay. This video might be short, but and then networking. So back to the social skill point. Yes, guys, it will teach you working in hospitality. You're just learning as you're going. You know what I mean? When it comes to just doing your job, and you're teaching yourself as you work in this kind of environment and industry, right? High pressure environment with a lot of people is networking. So like I said, going to the social skills aspect, It will show you how you can network with people, how to get out of what you want, alluding to the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. You know what I mean? If I were you as an introvert person, if you're looking, like I said, to get into the hospitality industry, I would read that book first. I would thoroughly read it first and then apply the principles. And I'm telling you, that's how I got to where I'm at. You know what I mean? I don't like, you know what I mean? I have like two, three friends, you know, in reality. But to get to the point where I need to go, or to get to the things I want, you're gonna have to talk at some point. You can't be just be quiet and be a lone wolf all your life. Now, that's how I maneuver. You know what I mean? I like to have my alone time. I can get a lot of things done by myself. I could travel by myself. I can live by I can do all kinds of things by myself. I love traveling by myself. You know what I mean? But to get the things you want, money wise, opportunity wise, you just got to network. You know what I mean? Networking is going to be important business transaction wise, and hospitality definitely teaches you that. And then you can observe of how people interact, how your managers interact, how people in suits interact, how your other coworkers interact. You know what I mean? When it comes to certain, professional work aspects. Another benefit is, like, I work in a restaurant, so it's really small. It Physicality and reaction time, bro. Like, and full awareness. So all in one. Physical wise, improve, like, to me, improve my reaction time to a lot of things, which applies to outside of life. You know what I mean? Like, when you react to certain things, or how you react with people. You know what I mean? Or how things in life, how to react and how to handle it. That helps a lot. Having full awareness. You know what I mean? Of, like, there's certain things from distant. What's the protocol? It teaches you that. And the physicality wise, my restaurant's pretty damn physical. We got to move, we got to carry trays, we got to reset, we got to do all those things, right? Like most upscale dining restaurants. Okay, that's another benefit as well, is the physicality wise, depending what kind of hospitality thing or department you are in general. Um, what else? What else? Uh, we'll combine this one into the 2-1 that I wrote down. I wrote one down that says teaches you the ability to venture into other paths, career paths, and never know who you will meet opportunity wise. So, like I said, it alludes back to networking, and this alludes to being realizing that in my opinion, it doesn't, like I said, doesn't matter what hospitality department you're in general. It really gives you the ability to venture into any career path. That's whether that's a trade job, going back to school for, like, anything. Like, you can, like, go to construction, you can even go into corporate, because you have a restaurant background, you have the ability to network, you have the social skill aspect, you have the awareness, you know how to basically interact with people. That's really big within business. And I'm telling you, like, that's one of the biggest benefits. So the overall summary of what I was talking about on this topic is, it will get you to be outgoing a little more than usual. And that's a good thing. You know what I mean? You want that. You know what I mean? I know, I can tell. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of introvert people that want to make friends, that want to talk. I'm telling you, if you give hospitality a try, you know what I mean? There's pros and cons to this stuff, but this is mainly a video about the pros, okay? You can look up other cons. People will tell you there's probably many videos about this, but this is my personal take of the benefits I experience in this. If it wasn't for this, working this kind of job, I wouldn't be making these videos. I wouldn't be really articulate as I am with these videos, and the confidence and stuff like that. Because, like I said, what you can and can't tolerate, when the bad things do happen, it motivates you, or gets you to teach you what you can do better. Okay, now I can approach the situation better. Like, intrusive last minute decision making is another thing too. That's another benefit of hospitality, man. Learning how to decide how to do this, do that. You know what I mean? That's like any job, but, like, it's really the networking social aspect is probably the biggest benefit for somebody that's looking to be more social and be more talkative. Okay, you can still have your introverted abilities where you can do things by yourself, but, have a balance. You know what I mean? Have people to interact with, your friends, your family. You know what I mean? If you let me summarize this. If you can talk to your family members or your good friends, like, no problem, you can talk to anybody, no problem. And your intuition will definitely tell you whether that person is a good person or not. Okay, so remember that. The Most High will tell you and let you know. All right, so I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you guys in another video.